Hey everyone, I'm really excited. We have a really great speaker today. It's Laura. So Laura's going to really give us some really good knowledge and insight. But let's get things started. I'll kick it off. Laura, tell everyone about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Laura. I'm 23 years old and I'm from Germany. I'm a holistic living coach and I help stuck females who want to design their dream lives and find their purpose in life. I am also a wellness blogger on Instagram, so I post about self-love and self-care and all that good stuff.
That's amazing. Well, I was gonna say, like, tell us more about like the coaching side and like how you help people, because I really think like that's amazing that you're able to do like the holistic life. So tell me more about that.
That's funny because, like, honestly, I've never intended to be a coach. It all started with my Instagram actually. So last year, in I think autumn, I received messages for the first time of people following me who wanted to know if they could get to work with me one-on-one. Because I write, like, for all those of you who don't follow me, I write very long Instagram captions where I kind of share my story and my knowledge and kind of coach people through my captions, and people would reach out to me and ask me to coach them. And I was like, oh, like, that's funny. Like, I don't coach anyone right now. I'm at university. I study. I don't know anything about being a coach. But yeah, that was food for thought. And so I was thinking about that. And I was like, actually, that could be fun to work with people and help them, because that's what I was already doing through Instagram, right? And I was like, wow, why not connect with people one-on-one and help them specifically? And so I started doing that in January this year. It was amazing. So that's how I kind of got into it, by people asking me if I could do that. And ever since, I'm doing that, like, first on the side during my study course. And then I graduated a couple of months ago. And since then, I'm doing it full time. So yeah.
That's so cool. And I've obviously seen your Instagram. So tell everyone your Instagram handle, but also too tell them like how you post, because I think it is beautiful and you give so much knowledge. It is like going deeper into things and getting to see the stuff. So tell them your handle and tell them more about how your posts are.
So my handle is laura.herde, so it's just my name, I guess. And I do post about a lot of topics that are just very close to my heart, like mental health, like wellness, self-care practices, self-love, relationships, like friendships, but also relationships to everyone, like your family, people you are in love with. It's just very, very important to me to help people, yeah, live better lives. And by doing that, become more happy and healthy and self-fulfilled, because so many people are not in healthy relationships or do not have close friends, like a good network of people. And that's also part of holistic health for me, having a good network of people who believe in you and support you and your dreams. And then I also post about fitness, like how to stay healthy and how to keep your body healthy, and yeah, all that. So I do post about like everything holistic health and lifestyle, and people love that. And so that's what I also teach my clients one-on-one: how to take better care of themselves, how to develop rituals and routines in their daily lives that work for them, because everyone is so different. Like, really, some people have time for a morning routine for like 2 hours, and some people need to do it in 15 minutes because it's just not their thing to wake up 2 hours earlier to do their morning routine. And so I just want to help people find what works for them individually, because everyone is so different. And yeah, just develop little rituals throughout the day that like keeps their mind and body happy and healthy. So that can be saying affirmations, like pushing yourself and being more positive and saying like, hey, this is an all thought pattern, this is like an all belief, an all story that I carry with myself. How can I replace that with a positive one? And how can I be more life-loving and optimistic? And how can I speak to myself in a way that I would speak to my friends? Like, how can I be kinder to myself? And how can I learn to accept and love myself? So that's what I try to do with them. And it works wonders. So that is amazing. And yeah, that's just kind of what I do. I help them just become more aware of what their thought patterns are and how they can replace them with good ones, and also daily rituals. For example, if someone doesn't know how to eat healthier, then I do like a meal plan with them and talk about what kind of food they can fuel their bodies with, just to show themselves more love and respect. Because honestly, what we put into our bodies is such a huge part of where our energy levels are, and also where our thoughts are. Because I can say for myself that ever since I switched over to a fully plant-based diet, I have never been this happy and healthy and fulfilled. And I've never felt so much compassion for people around me and for the animals as well, but also for myself, like just being kinder to myself and really taking care of my body, which is my temple, the way I would care about my child, like really being in a good place myself in order to serve others, because we can't help others if we don't fill up our own cups first. So that's also what I came to realize, because I would always be a people pleaser. I would always try to like serve others first and like stay there, like remain completely empty, completely exhausted and depleted. And right now I just know that I can't help anyone if I can't help myself first and love myself first and respect myself first. So it all begins with you. And that's what I also teach my clients, to take care of yourself first, love yourself first, and the rest will follow. You will attract people who are good to you, who respect you, who love you for who you are. And also you will be able to take care of others who need your help, because you can't do that when you're not full, when you're not good, in a good place, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, like whatever it is. So it's all about aligning your mind, body, and soul and being in a good place in order to serve others.
That's great. And that's so much on that, because I feel like you really are helping people look at their life as a whole, and then really helping lay a great roadmap for them to make improvements and then be comfortable with themselves. And I love what you were saying there, and everyone watch that back. Like that is great. Like the positive to yourself, like that's such a tough thing, because I think a lot of people do beat themselves up. So they don't even look at the comments they make to themselves, and it's really negative. So that's really great that you could help someone really change their mindset and take that shift, as well as change what they put in their body, you know? So I was going to say, like, I would love to touch more on like, how do you start your day? Like, what are the rituals you set up for yourself so people can maybe start to form their own rituals?
So for me, it's all about like first getting a good amount of sleep, because like actually my morning routine starts the evening before, because I have to set myself up in a proper way. So I need to go to sleep early, or as early as possible. Sometimes like I can't do it. Sometimes I do go to sleep way too like late, or I'm on my phone, but I usually try to put it away around 10 or like an hour before I want to go to bed. And then I go to bed, I get a good night's sleep, and then I wake up and ideally feel energized. And my first things first, I would scrub my tongue, because that's good for your mouth bacteria. Then I would drink heaps of water, like literally about a liter, sometimes even more, just to get everything flowing in my body. I need that. And so then I do some stretches, like nothing crazy, not, I don't know what kind of yoga, just stretching my body so it doesn't feel tight or stuck. And then I would usually go back to my bed and journal and read. Like I love doing that in my bed, don't judge. So I would journal for about 5 minutes. I use the 5-minute journal, but there are plenty of other journals out there, and you don't even need a guided journal. Let's be real here. Yeah, like you can just go for a notebook or whatever. But I love my journals, so I would do that and read, get some inspiration, and get in a positive state. So I have so many books that I love that just whenever I open them and read a page, I'm like in such a good, inspired mood, and like I love doing that. So that's also a crucial part of my morning routine. And then what else do I do? Stretching. I make myself a cup of tea, and then I just would start my day by planning. So I would write a list of my most important things for the day that I need to accomplish. And then I can also have like can do's or want do's. So I have my must do's. That's usually about 3 things every day, because honestly, more things, it's just sometimes not possible if it's like a big block of work. So, and then I have like can do's. So if I have more time, I can do them. And then want do's. And so want do's are also really important to me. For example, going for a walk. So if I can't make it for an hour, I would at least go for 10 minutes just to get my body moving, get some fresh air in, and yeah, just to, you know, chill out and like listen to an audiobook and take care of myself. So that's important. I also go to the gym, so I try to make time for that every second day. And yeah, just structuring my day in the morning. So that really helps for me to have a guideline, but also not be too hard on myself if I need more time for a task, or if something else comes in between. Like, you can't always stick to your plan, like life happens. So not being too hard on myself and being like, okay, what is most important right now and what can I do tomorrow, for example.
Yeah.
So that's how I like to start my mornings, to like take care of my mind by visualizing, meditating, journaling. Like, that's all part of that. And then my body by hydrating myself and stretching, and just really tuning into my body and seeing what it needs right now. Like, are there any emotions coming up? Do I feel weird that day? Do I feel stressed? Do I feel anxious? Is there anything that I need to talk about to a friend? Like, just stuff like that, just tuning into myself and my body and seeing if there anything, like, do I feel tension? Or like, because it's funny, when you are stressed, you feel so much tension in your body. Like, you have a short breath, like your body really communicates with you. And I try to see, like, where am I mentally? And if I don't get to a solution, like, I usually just try to see, like, what does my body tell me? Does my body say, hey, I'm tense or whatever? I mean, I'm probably stressed if I feel tense. So then I know, okay, I need to slow down. I need to meditate more. I need to go for another walk every 90 minutes or so, just to be in a better place again in order to serve more. For me, it's all about, I need to be in a good place in order to serve. So like, serving for me is one of my values. And in order to do that, I need to be in a good place. Like, there is no way for me to be in a bad place and then trying to serve, because I used to do that for such a long time, trying to please everyone around me, but not pleasing myself. And I ended up being burned out, depressed, like not in a good place, mentally and physically. So it's all interconnected, right? Like, we're such holistic beings as humans, and our body is just our vessel, but we need to take care of our mindset. We need to take care of our spirituality, our connection with ourselves and the universe, or God, or whatever you want to call it. Like, we really have to be in a good place in all different layers, right? Like, mind, body, soul.
Yes. No, that's so great. I love that too. Like, you'll start your routine before, because I do think that's such a valuable thing. Like, the night before, you're setting yourself up, and then how you start your day. And I love that. Was that called can do's, must do's, want do's? Those
Yeah.
That's so great, because like, I think people bucket it all into must do's, and then they don't get it done, and they're like, how did my list of 100 things not get done? And it's like, you really break that down in a great manner, where you really have little buckets. I love that. Like, that is so cool. Like, I think that's a great thing.
It's so helpful for me too, because I used to have like such a long to-do list, and then I would be like, at the end of the day, damn, I didn't accomplish anything. And now I'm like, okay, I have 2 or 3 major to-dos on my list that are really like important right now and that need to be done. But then I'm good. Like, after doing them, I'm good. And if I can do more, like, if I can hit, like, tick the box of 2 can do's or I want to, then that's awesome. But like, my must do's, they're completed and I'm good, and I don't feel like I haven't accomplished anything. Because sometimes we have so many to do's and we just don't know what to do. We multitask, we bounce around, and we're feeling like we're not really getting anywhere. And like, I'm guilty of that too, because sometimes I do multitask, like even on my computer, having more than one tab open means you're multitasking, right? Because where's your mind supposed to be? You need to be in one place. So it's either just emails or just one article that I'm writing, or like whatever it is, I'm doing one thing at a time, and this way I'm way more productive. So, but I always need to remind myself of that too. Like, I'm not perfect whatsoever. I'm like, Laura, like, take a step back. What are you actually doing here right now? Like, that is so important. I think so many people can relate. Like, multitasking is just a thief of productivity. So don't multitask. Like, write everything down, have a guideline, try to stick to it. But if not, well, the world doesn't end.
Exactly. No, and I love your perspective on that. And I was going to say, like, I think that's a perspective that, like, that's where people are trying to get to where you're at. So how did you build this kind of like setup to read? I can tell you can read yourself really well. Like you're saying, feeling the stress in your body. A lot of people will fight against that. So how did you, one, figure out that pattern so you can like read what's going on in your body? And then two, like how did you like really set up this process or system to really say, okay, it's fine, like I set my must do's and I got that done, I'm good to go? Because I think a lot of people are like, no, if I don't do my 100 list, I'm not good. Like they just don't know how to let go of that. So tell me how do you get to this? Because I can really feel you're in tune with this.
So for the first thing, what was the first question again?
Oh yeah, I threw a lot at you there. No, but how do you read into the stress
Oh
in your
yeah.
body or knowing those things? Because I feel like that's really powerful to be able to read the energy from your body, one, and then the energy of others. But let's go into your own energy. How do you read that? And when there's stress or you're not good or feeling good?
So I had to really develop a connection with myself. I used to be so disconnected from who I was as a person. I didn't know myself and my values. I didn't really know anything. I was just always the kind of person who would try to be liked by everyone. Like that was literally me. Like, so if someone would say something, I would be like, yeah, that's true. Like just to, support them and like be like a yes sayer. And so I would always say yes, I would always support people, I would always give so much and do what they would want me to do, even though it wasn't aligned with who I am and what I wanted. And at some point, I just completely broke down. Like literally, I was just feeling so lonely and so lost because none of these people were my true friends. I was just trying to please them, but I was never enough for them. So I was like, okay, like I just need to be by myself and like find myself and serve myself first. So I would really be lonely, but in a good way, because I finally would start to ask myself these really important questions like, who am I? And what is important to me? And what matters? And what brings me joy? And what brings me happiness? And what do I think about certain things? Like, not only saying what other people would, like, repeat what other people would say about the topic, but be like, hey, what do I think about that? Like, what is, like, who is Laura? Like, who I am? Like, really asking myself and like journaling and writing it down and like really getting clear on that and spending time with myself. Like that was so great. For the first time in my life, I was actually comfortable spending time with myself because I realized that being with someone who would not see my worth and someone who would not actually like me and support me, like that wouldn't bring me any joy and like any fulfillment. So I was like, okay, like I'll be on my own, and that's a good thing. So that's when I connected with myself, and that's when I also learned to listen to my body a little bit more. So what do I need? Oh, I feel stressed, I need to calm down and not try to like juggle it in another way. Or, oh, I feel tired, I shouldn't drink another coffee, I should actually get some rest. Or, oh, like I feel anxious or lonely, then I need to talk to a person. Like I just need to listen to my own needs and serve myself in order to feel complete and whole and happy. And so when I did that, I also realized like, okay, today I'm really stressed and my back pain is way worse than it usually would be. And so I could make these relations, like really realizing how connected my mind and my body are, because our bodies are so smart. Like whenever something in our mind is off, they would notice that and it would manifest in some way or another, like tension or like a physical illness even. Like that can happen. Like people would have illnesses for their entire lives and not know where it comes from, but it's usually your mind.
Yes.
And your body is just trying to send you signals like, hey, you need to work on that. Like, for example, like there's so many examples, but like, let's say you are someone who has a really hard time communicating or connecting with people. So that would manifest in some way or another. And there are even books written about this topic, like how certain things can manifest. I actually have a great book about that. It's called Anatomy of the Spirit.
Anatomy of the
And
Spirit.
that is so great. Like I love this book. It really changed my life because it actually explains everything that that you have, like that you can tell about your body that is kind of off, where it stems from. And I feel like this is so important for people to realize, because this is actually an approach to your physical health. Like doctors would say like, oh, just take this medicament, or like, just take this pill and then you're fine. Like this is not the root of your illness. Like this is not what has caused it. So let's get to the cause and not just try to fight the symptoms, because it just doesn't, like, it's just not sustainable, right? So
Yeah.
for me, this book has changed a lot. Like, I really got to know my body, and like for me it would usually be stress, so I would have back pain and tension. And yeah, it was just so interesting for me. And so I developed this like connection with my body, like how do I feel and how do I need to take better care of myself. And so that was how it all started, I guess. Just
That's
being by myself, taking a step back, reading about that, like really educating myself and being by myself and liking myself and getting to know myself, I guess.
that's great, because I really think the thing is, like, you took the step of saying I need to show self-love so you can do other things. And then also too, it's amazing though that too, what is it, Anatomy of the Spirit, you said, right?
Anatomy of the Spirit, yeah, it's a great book.
That's great, because I also do think that a lot of times, like, we don't go for the causes. It's literally like, just do this and it should solve it. It's like we want a fix with a snap of a finger, and that's just
Quick
really,
fixes like never work. Like, don't go for quick fixes. Even like weight loss, don't do a diet and then like starve yourself, whatever. Like, don't do quick fixes. Like, just have a healthy lifestyle and a healthy approach, and really do something that's sustainable and good for you long term, and not just short term.
yes, yes, I 100% I'm so behind that. And I really love that, like, you're able to kind of take that self-love and self-care. So let's go into like self-care. So what do you do for your own self-care in general? Like, do you have a sort of routine for that, or is there certain things that you'll kind of also tell your clients, or tips and strategies for clients? Like, give us like your self-care kind of background on that.
So I try to like see it in these three categories, like mind, body, soul. So for my mind, like to take care of my mind, I would see like, is there any negative thought coming up, and replacing it with a kinder or more positive one. So let's say I would tell myself like, hey, you weren't productive at all today. Like, this is not okay. Then I would like just shift my focus on something that has been good, like something that I have achieved on that day that was really important to me. So I would just reframe it in a way. So that's really important for my mental health, to just really practice self-compassion and kindness and speak to myself in a way I would speak to a friend. Because sometimes it's so easy to be so hard on ourselves, but to friends we're like, oh no, you're good, like everyone makes mistakes, you know, it's fine. But with ourselves we're like, duh, 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 you know, and like that is just so not okay. Like, we should talk to ourselves the same way we talk to friends or like family or loved ones. So that is a really important one for me. And then also seeing like, is there anything that is on my mind right now? Is there anything that my subconscious is like working with that is unsolved? And then try and journal it all out. And like, I call it stream of consciousness journaling. So I just write everything on paper, like all my thoughts, all my fears, all my worries, everything, just writing it all out and then reading it all out and being like, okay, my fear is actually bullshit. Like, this is not gonna happen. And like, also defining your worst case. For me, when I'm really afraid to take a leap, or when I overthink, or when I live in anxiety, which means I would live in the future, because there's no way I can control the future. So why just beat myself up right now and be like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna be so bad. Like, you really define your worst case scenario and then see if it's actually that bad, because usually it's not. Like, the worst case, like, you will still be alive, you will still be healthy, your family is still gonna be safe. So
Mhm.
like, the worst case, like, some people are like, oh, I can't skip my job, like I can't do something else, like this is gonna be so bad, like my finances, like I'm gonna be in such a bad place, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what is the worst thing that can happen? You might have not a job for like a couple of weeks, but then you can pursue what you really want to do, and if it doesn't work, you can still find another job where you actually like your boss, or where you actually like your field that you're working. And like, there's always a solution to a problem. So we don't have to like dramatize everything. So when I tend to do that, I would just like write it all out and see like, is this actually that bad? And is this actually something that could happen? Or is it just my mind playing tricks on me? So that is super important for my mental health. And then also seeing like, do I feel lonely? Do I have to check in with friends more often? Like, how can I be a better person? How can I serve them better? And how can I serve myself better? So that is really important for me. And then body health would be like getting enough sleep for sure, because sometimes we're like trying to be productive and we like try to get everything done, or hang out with friends all the time. And then we're like, oh, I'm gonna be good with like just 4 hours, 5 hours, but it adds up. And like after a week, we're exhausted. Like I can really say from experience, like traveling a lot and being around people a lot, that can be exhausting. It's beautiful. Like it's definitely beautiful, but it can be exhausting. So really making that a priority, like really being like, no, I need my 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. Like I just need it. Some people might need less. Some people might need 10 hours. I know people who generally need 10 hours. And they should get those 10 hours. Like, obviously, you have to spend less time on other stuff then, but like, if this is how you feel your best, you should get that sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, like, seeing, okay, how can I move my body daily? What should I do? So, I think stretching and yoga is for everyone. It's not just for yogi girls. Like, it's not like that.
Yeah.
I think everyone should do it just to release tension and become more flexible and just feel in tune with your body. Like, you don't have to do crazy stuff like a split or anything. Just do what feels right for your body. Like, I do yoga so intuitively. Like, in the beginning, I was like, oh, I should do this yoga flow. You know, I should do it exactly the way this yoga teacher is doing it. And now I'm just getting on my mat. I'm just doing whatever. Like, honestly, I just listen to my body. Okay, where do I feel tension? Where could I need a good stretch? And just do it. I would just do whatever. I wouldn't even think about it. I would just go intuitively with my body, what my body would tell me to do. Like I would just do that. Like no plan whatsoever, just going for it.
No,
so
but
that
that's
is
very
good. And then also going for walks or hitting the gym, like really having a good routine, how to move your body, like on a daily basis actually, because some people are like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym twice a week and I'm good. Like no, like try to do something every single day so you can take care of your physical body, because sitting on a chair all day like for 9 hours, it's just not healthy. It's just not how humans are supposed to live. So try to stand up more often. Like I have a standing desk. You can see me, I'm standing right now. Like it's a standing desk, so that is so amazing. So I don't have to sit all day, because I am someone who is writing a lot, who's talking to a lot of people through my coaching, like writing from my blog, from my business emails, like all of that. I could sit on my ass all day literally, but I don't. I choose to stand and take breaks, get myself a cup of tea, and just have some yoga in between. So I mean, like, and obviously not everyone can do yoga in between calls. Like for me, that's a big pleasure. But people who work at an office, just stand up more often, like get a standing desk. Try to get out every hour or two, like just for a quick walk. Like it doesn't have to be crazy, right? Like just walk to your workplace or whatever it is. Like everyone can move at least 30 minutes every day. I think that's totally doable, and that's so important actually. And then also nourishing your body in a good way. So for me, as I already mentioned, I went vegan 4.5 years ago, I think. So that has been a long time, and honestly I've never felt this energized and this healthy and vibrant. And I also need less sleep, and like it's interesting because I used to need about like 9 hours to actually feel good about myself. Now 7 to 8 is fine for me. So it's already less. It's still a lot, but it's less than before. So yeah, just fueling your body with whole foods, because junk food is like, it's great from time to time, it's soul food, and I also treat myself, like I'm definitely guilty of that, but I don't see it as a guilty pleasure, but just as soul food. It's all about balance really. So for me, it's about, okay, I'm gonna enjoy this ice cream, but like I will have like lots of veggies for dinner, and like just whole foods like potatoes, like really basic, but like really good, and like not with a long ingredient list. So the longer the ingredient list, the more likely it is to not be that good for you. So try to keep it as unprocessed and whole as possible, and also plant-based, because I think plants are great for humans. Like us humans, we're herbivores all the way, and we're supposed to eat plants. Like we're not just supposed to eat animals. Like animals eat animals, but like humans can thrive with plants in such a beautiful way. And I think that's super important. And that's also what I teach my clients. Like just if you don't feel comfortable like giving up on meat or dairy or whatever it is, then just eat more of the good stuff, eat more veggies, eat more fruit. You don't have to go vegan overnight as I did. Like you don't have to be crazy like that. Like you can just do your thing, but still take care of what you're putting into your body and be conscious about that, because some people are just mindlessly like, snacking, and it's like so not good for them, and then they feel sluggish and tired, and obviously your body will tell you like, hey, this is not good for you. Like it will get tired and not as energized. So really try to stick to good food like nuts and fruit and seeds and
Hmm.
yeah, whole foods. Like that's super important. So that's how I take care of my body. And what else? Spirit, right? So I would develop, as I already told you guys, I developed a connection with myself. So that was the first step for me for like starting my spiritual path, I guess, like connecting with myself. And then also believing in something bigger than myself. So I read The Secret, which is a really great book, and it also tells you about the law of attraction and the universe. And for all of those of you who are not familiar with that, that's totally fine. You definitely should read that book. I can highly recommend it. But the key essence, or what I took from it, was that everything is energy. Like as humans, we're energy. Our thoughts are energy. And so energy is always there, like it's all around us, and we are energy too. So our cells are energy, and the air we are breathing is also energy. So what you send out, you will attract back, because like attracts like. And that is so true, because once I became a more confident and loving person, I would attract people into my life who would also love me and accept me and like really be good for me. And so like really attracts like. And if you feel like you don't have a good support system, become that person first. Like support yourself first and love yourself first and serve yourself first, and then you'll attract people naturally who are willing to do the same for you. So that is super important, like really having a spiritual connection, like whatever you believe in. You can believe in God and Buddha and like whoever. Like I believe in the universe. I believe in love and compassion and kindness and equality. Like that is my religion, I guess. But it's not about religion at all. Like it's just about having something you believe in and something you can trust. Like really having faith that there is something working for you, and that everything is happening for you and not against you. Like everything is perfectly lined. There's always perfect timing.
Hmm.
So don't worry about like, don't be in such a rush, right? Like don't worry about the timing, because the timing is always perfect. And the right people will always find their way into your life, and everything that happens is a blessing or a lesson. So adopting that mindset has been a game changer for me, because I always used to think like, oh my gosh, this is what happened to me and this was bad. I would label it as bad. But it was not bad. It was a lesson that I could learn from and that I could grow through, like go through and grow through, right? So you say like you grow through what you go through. And that's so true. Like everything is a lesson or a blessing. And if it's a blessing, that's great, then celebrate it. And if it's a lesson, then well, great. Get that lesson and learn from it and apply it, like step forward.
Yes.
So like having that spiritual connection really helped me seeing everything in my life as something positive and not label things as good or bad, because nothing is ever bad. Like there are things happening that are hurting you, and that is fine, because like pain is a human emotion, and that's completely okay to feel that pain, but just feel through it and eventually let it go. Don't be like, oh no, I don't want to feel that pain. Like this is not a pleasant emotion. Like, like just
Hmm.
really accept it, surrender to it, feel through it and let it go. Like that is so hard, accepting negative things and feelings and thoughts. And like if someone is like, like if you lose a family member, obviously you're not going to be happy. But the thing is then like really surrendering to that and accepting that, because you can't change anything about it. So if you can't change it, accept it.
Yes.
And then also being like, okay, what does this teach me? Maybe to really honor life more and to live my own life on my own terms and spend more time with family and
Hmm.
really be present more. Like, like it always teaches you something. So always, as weird as it sounds, be grateful for it, because for me, the worst thing that happened to me has become my biggest blessing. Like me losing all my friends and being depressed and in a really bad place mentally and physically allowed me to become my true self, to dig deeper, get to know myself, and now be a life coach who helps people go through the same stuff that I went through and building a life they love, because I managed to build a life that I love from scratch. Like I had nothing. I had no health, neither mental, no physical. Like I had no health. I had no sense of who I was, of my purpose, about my why, I had no friends. I had nothing that would keep me alive other than my mom being there and like really asking me to make changes and to be happy and healthy again. And so I was like, if I don't want to do it for myself, I should at least do it for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really started from scratch and I got to know myself and I took care of myself. Finally, for the first time in my life, I was like, okay, I want to protect you and take care of you. Like, I should really do that. I owe myself to do that because otherwise I will never be happy in life. And then really designing a lifestyle that I love. So I didn't choose the conventional path, becoming an online coach with 23 or like 22 actually.
Yeah.
Like that was not conventional at all. Like no one around me did that. So everyone was just like judging me and asking like, what is she doing? Like, what does she even think to first be an influencer and then a life coach? And like, wow, like how can she do that? And for me, it's just like, I knew I couldn't work a 9 to 5. Like I really knew myself well enough to be like, okay, I don't want to live my life following someone else's dreams and working for someone else's dreams. Like I want to work on my own dreams and I want to build my own empire in order to impact people. Like this is what I want. I want to serve in a big way. And I can't do that working a 9 to 5 at a PR agency selling cosmetics. Like that's just
Yeah.
not gonna happen for me. Like so it's like everyone is different, right? As we already said in the beginning. So everyone has to see what makes them happy. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I just knew that's just not what makes me happy. I did an internship and I was like miserable. So I was like, okay, you got to build your own thing, girl. So I did. And that was awesome. Like that was the best decision of my life to just be self-employed and like decide to help other females build their dream lifestyles because I really believe it's possible for everyone to live the life they love. Like it might take hard work and it might take a lot of time, a lot of detours, and a lot of missteps, and a lot of I don't know what, a lot of pain, but it's so worth it. Like honestly, looking back, I was like every single hour that I spent struggling, falling down, getting up again, it was just so worth it. And I'm so glad that I believed in myself when no one else did. Like I really had to prove others. Like my mom was like, what are you doing? My friends were like, what are you doing? Like everyone was just asking me, what are you doing? Why are you traveling the world? Why would you meet all these people? Why would you build your own business? Like, how are you going to do that? How is it going to work out? And I just believed in myself and found my way. And like, that is so amazing. And I think everyone can find their way if they first commit to finding themselves and finding what sets their soul on fire. Because we all have passions, we all have interests, and that's usually where our soul purpose lies. And so really find that purpose and find that passion, find what drives you crazy, you know, because that's probably where you'll find your happiness along the way. So I want to help people find that. I want to help people find that and design that lifestyle. And it works. And that's so beautiful. Like seeing my clients thrive is just the most fulfilling thing ever for me. And I just want everyone to do a job that they love, that they just feel like so in flow and so passionate about. Like I'm usually on this post-coaching high and I'm like, I just love my life. I love my job. Like this is how you should feel working.
Yes.
This is how you're supposed to feel. Excited and grateful and just full of energy and light, right?
Yes. That's so great. And I was like just feeling the flow of energy coming from you talking about this. And it's so great because I really think that that's one of those things that like you gave us so many nuggets of great knowledge. And I think, like I love the blessing lesson. Like I think like so many people will go with good and bad. So that's such a good way to kind of take that mindset and shift it. And as well as also too, like you believed in yourself and you went on your personal journey to get yourself there, but there were people around you saying, what are you doing? What's going on? But you kept going and you believed in yourself. That's so powerful. So many people don't believe in themselves. They believe in others, but not themselves. And then also too, like you said, law of attraction, The Secret, everyone get out there, read. Come on, like there's 2 great books that are listed here today. Get out there, read them, make a change in your life, really shift your mindset. And then also checking with your mind, body, and spirit. Really check in, because sometimes people will check in with one but not the other, and they won't look all the way throughout, or they won't even check in at all. That is
Yeah.
some great things right there for you to really take small shifts in life. And Laura said it, make a small step. So do that. Use these lessons. And I was going to, Laura, tell us, like, how can people work with you? Because I feel like you have such great energy, and like I would love for people to know more about that. Do you have any sort of like programs or any sort of things where people can find more to work with you? Because this is really resonating.
Yeah, so on my website, I do have a coaching section right now. Actually, my website is being redesigned right now, so stay tuned for that. Like my new website is coming next year. But until then, I still have a blog upside. It's up online. It's my usual blog, laura@herde.com, and there you find this coaching section, and then you can like read all about my coaching practice, about my story, and how you can get to work with me, so you can apply for that. So I really try to only work with people who are aligned with what I believe in, and people who really want to make changes and commit to investing in themselves, because like coaching is always an investment time wise, and also emotionally, spiritually, financially, it's always an investment. And so I want to make sure someone is really committed to making these drastic changes, because this is going to change your life. Like really, I want people to be ready for that. And so you can apply there, and I will read that and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And so also next year I have 2 coaching programs up, like lined up. It's a group coaching program for people who want to become life coaches, and then also a holistic health program. So definitely stay tuned for that.
That's cool. That's great. And I was going to say, like, what we'll do is we'll make sure we link that up so everyone can get to see that and go direct to those pages. Because as you can hear all the like great energy as well as all the great knowledge that you got today, like that's literally on Laura's site, but it's in Laura. So you got to work with Laura to get that. So like, it's going to be great. But make sure you follow her on Instagram too as well. But I was going to say, are there any kind of final thoughts that you want to leave everyone with?
I just think that is super important. Like, if you really want to change your life, to commit to that and really ask yourself, why do I want to change? Like, if there's anything you want to change in your life, either your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual connection, like ask yourself, why do I want to change? And this is your motivation. This is your fuel, because so many people are like, oh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, but they don't even know why they want it. And so they are not really motivated. And so they don't really know what they're actually doing. And I think once you know your why in life, but also in all different kinds of areas, that makes things so much easier, because you will see, okay, this is why I want to get there. So you're more committed and more driven. And so then you will actually stick to your little habits and routines and baby steps that you need to take every single day in order to get to where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to your routines and your habits. Your habits really add up over time. That's what I learned from myself. Like, it's not about making big jumps, right? Like one day after another. It's more about like these tiny little habits that we have and that add up over time, that we can make huge progress with over time if we stick to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any bad habits, really make sure to replace them with better habits, or like good ones. So if you feel like you're someone who is smoking and you want to quit smoking, really get clear on, why do I want to quit smoking? Like, why is it not good for me? And what can I replace it with? So let's say you're always stressed and you want to like, just smoke something in order to calm yourself down. Like, really ask yourself, why do I want to stop it? Why is it bad for my health? And what can I implement in order to have a healthy habit that I can add to my life? Let's say going for a walk, or having a cup of tea and journal, or like something that really gives you that like desired effect that you want from that cigarette. Another healthy habit can give that to you as well. So really figure out, what can it be? And how can I replace it? And so that will add up over time, and you'll feel so much better and healthier. And that's just a small example. There are so many things that can change, right? Like having a burger, you can have a salad and still have something like as a small treat, but like it's all about making better choices. It's not about being perfect, but making better choices.
That's so great. No, and that's great. And that's really, I love that, starting with the why, because I think sometimes it's just jump right to it, but then going deeper into that to learn. But this has been so valuable. So everyone, will make sure we link up Laura's information for social and our website, and make sure to go check out our program. And thank you so much for your time today. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, for me too. Thank you for having me. Also, for everyone who likes to listen to podcasts, my podcast will come up next year too. So there are lots of exciting projects planned.
All right. So what we'll do too is we'll make sure we link. So maybe if you give your email to Laura on our site, then the great thing about that is when that podcast comes out, you'll be able to see it. So make sure you follow on social, as well as get her give your email over because she's going to give you some great content, video content, audio content, written content, everything. It's all coming.
You can subscribe to my email list on my website, and you will be the first one to know if anything new comes out and like any tips. I also want to start a motivational Monday series next year, so
Ooh.
I just want to like really create a lot of good content for you guys that is valuable and that helps you design a better life for yourself.
And that's great. So remember, it's all about like if you want to get to that lifestyle that you want, Laura's here to help you get there. Like she's taken the steps, she's lived the journey. So really get out there and go to her site so you can take the steps, small steps. She'll help you there with small steps. So make sure you watch this one again. And again, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.